Hi there, thanks for dropping into my shop. Now today's project is something that is not going to be interesting to everyone, I know that. In fact, it's specifically aimed at members of the Central Alberta Woodturners Guild. And I was thinking about making this a private video and just sending the link to the people who wanted to see it. And then I realized there's no reason to believe that you're not going to be interested. In fact, if you've ever thought about making your own Spindle Steady Rest, some of this information might be interesting to you. And if you're not interested, that's okay, I fully understand. I thank you for stopping in, even for just a moment. But for those who are interested, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. A couple of months ago, I made this Longworth Chuck. I did a video on it, and then one of the other fellows in our Central Alberta Woodturners Guild made one, and I can't tell you who he is. He didn't give me permission to use his name, so I can't say it was Dan McKay. But he came up with the idea that because we have full shops and can make things like this, we should make them and make them basically at cost, add a few dollars to them so that other guild members can benefit from them. If you want to buy one of these commercially, it's going to cost you $150 US, seems to be the rate that I find them at. So for our guild members, we can make them a lot cheaper. We'll put them out in kit form, and when you buy one of those kits, you've got every piece that you need to put it together. You need to do a little bit of work to do that because it's going to come right off the CNC router. Sanding's not even going to be done. Now, maybe if you take this to your guild, they'll think that's a good idea and somebody will be willing to do that as well. Another thing we're going to make is this Spindle Steady Rest. Again, all the pieces will be in kit form, just need to be put together. Now, if someone wants to buy one of these kits at our guild, and by the way, that's only for paid guild members, they can go to the video that this was made on. I'll put a link down below here and they can find this one. And if they buy this kit, that's what this video is for. I'm going to show how this was put together. So let me put all this stuff away, and for those interested, I'll show how we put this together. Be right back. Alright, our first step is going to be attaching the wheels to the arms. For that we need 3 5/16 by 2-inch machine screws, 3 washers, 3 nylon lock nuts, the 3 arms, and the 3 wheels. So we'll put the machine screw through, with the head going into the large recess. On the other side we put a washer, a wheel, and then the lock nut. You want it just tight enough so that it will spin. I'll do all 3 of these and I'll be right back. Now with the wheels on the arms, we'll go on to the next step. And for this we need the large ring, 3 1/4-inch by 1.5-inch machine screws, 3 washers, and 3 wing nuts. The first thing I'm going to do is drive these through the head going into the recess. And I've made these tight enough that those machine screws won't fall out of there. Turn it over this way and put these arms on. Put on a washer and a wing nut on each one. Once this is put together, you can easily turn this arm over the other way and have the wheels inside here. This is just for demonstration purposes, and it's just easier to have them up there like that. Alright, with these in place, you take these arcs, put them in between 2 of these, and depending how snug you want this to be, you can push it up against these real tight, Of course, the tighter they are, the harder it's going to move this back and forth. Now, another thing, before gluing this down, I suggest you wax the heck out of the sides of this and underneath where it's going to slide on there, in case some glue squeeze out ends up on there and holds it there forever. Wouldn't be a good thing. Alright, now depending on how many clamps you have, you might want to do one of these arcs at a time. Put the glue under there, clamp this down real good. If you're doing one at a time, I suggest leaving it for an hour, depending on the glue you're using, your confidence in it. And once the glue is dried, this part is finished. Now let's go on to the next step. When you're ready to do the next step, the glue will all be dried, all these clamps will be out of your way. I'm just leaving them there now to hold things in place so I can demonstrate the next step. I suggest turning in this orientation so one of them is facing straight down. Then you'll take these two short pieces of Baltic birch plywood, put one on each side, line them up the best you can to get them centered, and then you're going to glue these onto the two sides. And these pieces are going to go across the bedways of your lathe. And now we come to the point where things can be a little different from one lathe to the next. The gap between the rails on the lathe are not standard. Every manufacturer has its own designation of what they're going to have for the gap. So this piece will not necessarily fit your lathe. It's made to fit mine. If you need a different one, I guess you have to let me know. I can make it, or hopefully if you have a table saw or other tools, you can make your own. Anyway, this will go underneath these two pieces so that it's running parallel to the bed and will fit between those rails. Now, if you take a look at the one I made myself, I've also got two pieces of wood on the bottom, and they're a little longer this dimension than they are here. And that's because these will drop down into the bedways, and then you can turn this, tighten up the bolt, and it clamps it down. So you can move it along the bed wherever you want it and lock it in place. These also will have to be custom made to fit your lathe. If I can help with it, I will. So I think that covers the whole thing on how this is put together. If you have questions, you can always ask at one of our guild meetings. Well, I hope if you are one of the people putting one of these kits together, that this was clear enough that you understand how to go about it. Now, if you're not a member of our guild, I'm sorry, but this is not supposed to be a commercial venture. I'm retired, I'm not looking for a job. But maybe if you take this idea to your guild, someone there is willing to do the same thing. If you're not in a guild, try to get involved with them. Now, if you liked what I put together here, please click the like button. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people clicking the dislike button because it's not a benefit to them, and I'm sorry about that. So now, go out in your shop and have a great day and be safe. Subscribe if you like what I do, and I hope you'll come back next time. Take care now. And in case you hadn't thought of it, a Spindle Steady Rest is certainly useful for more than just spindles.